Hello, and welcome to episode 318 of the Casual Tryhard Podcast. I'm Brian,
And I'm James.
and this week we are going to be doing what is the name of this set? Gosh, Dragons, Tarkir Dragonstorm.
Tarkir Dragonstorm. We got
There
there.
we go. We got professional.
Man, you've been looking at product all weekend. I figured you'd know what it
I
was
know.
called.
It's hard. It's hard.
Yeah, so today we're
So
going to be talking about starting our card by card, going through the set. We got some interesting cards that we picked out. We got some interesting cards from Discord, and we'll just go through them like we always do. We got about 50 cards, so I imagine we're definitely not going to get them all done today. We'll probably get through maybe black, and then pick up from there next week.
yeah, sounds good. So if you've got cards you want us to talk about, you can reach out to us on the internet. So Facebook, Discord, X, Twitter, whatever we're calling it now, Blue Sky, all those places. Email, even all those links are in the description. Come say hey, let us know what you're thinking, and give us suggestions.
Yeah, hit us up. We'll be done with this set in a couple weeks. If there's any episodes in particular that you guys want us to do, or if there's an episode that you liked us that like we have previously done, you want us to revisit, we can do that as well. Like Brian said, all the links are down below. If you're looking to support the show, there's a couple ways you can do it. The first is with our TCG player affiliate link, CasualTryHard.com/TCG. Surf on over there, do whatever shopping you're going to do, support the show at the same time. If you want to support us more directly, Patreon.com/CasualTryHardMTG is where you can do that. Chip a couple bucks in. You get access to my show notes, so you know what we're going to be talking about a little bit ahead of time. And you also get about another hour of content out of us in the form of our unshow. We're old, our equipment sometimes doesn't work, and we always need to catch up. So we record it for about an hour before the show and pipe it right into your ears, unedited, unscripted, everything, hence the unshow. So if any of that sounds good, or if you just want to support the show, patreon.com/CasualTryHardMTG. Help us out.
Yeah. All right. So with that, let's jump into these cards.
Sure. We'll start in white here. The first card we have is Clarion Conqueror. It's 2 and a white for a 3/3 dragon. It has flying, like dragons do. And activate abilities of artifacts, creatures, and planeswalkers can't be activated.
So this is kind of like Linvala.
Yep.
Like old Linvala,
Old
that was
Linvala.
2 white.
Yep.
I played against this. It was just a 3-mana 3/3 flyer unlimited.
Yeah, I imagine
which
its
is
use
fine.
isn't
Yeah.
like limited. You know what I mean? Like this is obviously a taxi piece, and I don't know many limited decks that are.
Yeah. This feels like it kind of feels like a vintage card, right? Like fast mana this out and lock all your have a null rod.
Yeah.
To lock all your opponent's mana out. Like, in like maybe, what is it called? Like there was that green white collected company deck that like had like taxi, hate bears and peace, but like this doesn't stop the things that you need that need stopped in like Pioneer.
Well, the problem is it's activated abilities. It's not triggered abilities. And it seems like lately all of the, we've been complaining for years about all the cards that pay you off immediately. Like those are all triggered abilities. So this isn't going to do anything to stop you from like falling behind to those snowbally cards. And like its ability is really only a pain. It just makes things slightly awkward. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Until they can come up with a removal spell or something.
Yeah, that's why like vintage. It like shuts off their mana.
Yeah.
Like it's almost like what is it? Hushbringer. Like if it were Hushbringer plus this.
Yeah.
Card's great. Even if it's what is that thing from Zendikar Rising? That's like a 3-mana 2/3 flyer that like non-basic lands entered tapped and your opponent can only cast one spell per
Oh,
turn.
yeah.
But like if it was like one of those two clauses plus this clause,
Yeah.
then like okay. But like maybe the Planeswalker text matters most. Like I think there have been times where is it Anointed Peacekeeper?
Mm-hmm.
The 3/3 ground guy?
Yeah.
That like you like name their Planeswalker and you tax the abilities for 2.
Yeah.
Like that's a thing that like has happened. So this just like turns it off.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, this might have supposed to been a safety valve for like Lily.
Maybe.
I mean, it's a little late,
Or like
but
if this is too good, yeah.
What about the fact that it's a 3-mana dragon?
I think that does matter. I kind of missed that, but it does matter with like Mox Jasper wanting you to get to like have dragons. So like cheap dragons lets you like get to 5 with that.
Yeah.
Also Sarkin
Mm-hmm.
like wants you to have like a cheap dragon behind it.
Yeah.
So like they could
Well,
be more
this
important for the
shuts
dragon
off
part.
Mox Jasper, though, right?
Oh yeah, you're right.
So you couldn't use it with Mox Jasper. I was thinking more
This
like
is-
the Behold cards.
Yeah, but you can just show a dragon, right?
Well, right, but this is one that you could, like, if you didn't want to be full control, this is a dragon
Fair.
that you could, like, cast on curve, and it didn't matter, like, it was Beheld, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, you could show it and then like
It's not rotting in your hand if it's in your opener and you can't cast it till
Yeah.
turn 6.
fair. You know what's funny? Saffron Olive said the same thing about like Mox Jasper in this card and got like roasted in his comment. So
Oh,
like,
really?
and I forgot about it. And when you said it, I was like, crap, I saw that same thing when he talked about it during previews. I was like, it's like duh, like it doesn't work. And yeah, I did the same thing because I was like, oh, that's the thing that makes the most sense. But
I didn't mean to make
I mean,
you
it
feel
might
like
matter.
a dummy.
Yeah, it happens pretty frequently. But it does feel like it is a card that like maybe the being a dragon for 3 mana matters.
Yeah.
So
And, like, it's a decent rate. I mean, 3 mana for a 3/3 flower is pretty good.
no, I think it like it's good.
Yeah.
But like it's just it's unfortunate that the ability doesn't do more because
Right.
a 3 mana 3/3 flyer, no text,
Yeah.
doesn't do enough.
Yeah, I mean, this doesn't stop any of the overlords. It doesn't stop
Yeah.
the blink deck. Like, I don't think it has a home in the current metagame.
No. And like I said, other than like I said, being like a vintage piece.
Yeah. Or
Which,
if you
like-
just needed a 3/3 flyer for 3.
Yeah. But
All
it
right.
feels like there are better ones.
Yep.
All right.
Moving on. What do we got next?
We got Elspeth Stormslayer. It's 3 white for a legendary Planeswalker Elspeth. It's got 5 loyalty. Its static is if 1 or more tokens would be created under your control. Twice that many tokens are created instead.
Okay.
+1 with a 1/1 white soldier creature token. 0, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Those creatures gain flying until your next turn. And then -3, destroy target creature an opponent controls with mana value 3 or greater.
Oh, that seems pretty solid.
Yeah, so remember Anointed Procession?
Yeah.
That card was like I spent a lot of time as like a $40 or $50 card.
Yeah.
It was 4 mana and an enchantment, but it had Elspeth static.
Yeah. Now,
So-
a Planeswalker is a little bit easier to interact with than an enchantment is.
It is.
And
It is.
this costs another mana, but you also don't get loyalty abilities on a enchantment.
Yeah, like I think you would pay the extra mana on Anointed Procession if it made 2 1/1s when it came into play,
Absolutely.
right? And like this is what this does, right?
Or if it blew up your opponent's Banishing Light. Oh no, it's just a
Yeah.
creature. Never mind.
Just but
Yeah.
it blew up their 3-drop.
Yeah.
Like absolutely. So just like a deck that is interested in Anointed Procession, and like I'm kind of looking at this also, like if you look at it through an MTG finance lens
Mhm.
of like if a commander deck is going to play Anointed Procession,
Right.
it's going to want to play this as maybe it's not as stable
Mm-hmm.
or like as secure of an Anointed Procession, but it's a backup Anointed Procession for your like token deck.
Yeah.
That wants to make as many tokens as possible. And
Right.
like if you already have a wide board, the 0 kind of wins.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? Like, oh, I've got like 7 tokens and I guess I'll give them all +1/+1 and flying.
Mm-hmm.
Smash. Okay. You're dead.
Right.
Like so like
just to touch on your commander point for a minute there, we do have like there are a few others of this effect. There's the white Mondris or whatever.
And how much that card's $50.
And there's also the white from the Ixalan cycle. The god.
Oh.
Makes 3 times the tokens.
Okay. Those are all super expensive cards.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying they're not. I just mean
I'll be honest, I forgot about those. I remember Anointed Procession.
Yeah.
But like now you have like it's just more redundancy, and those cards have shown they like end up being valuable.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know where this has a home in standard. Like I don't know, like is this almost too big to be like I'm playing red white tokens and I want like
oh yeah, I don't
some
think
sort
this
of
can
like
go in
post
like a
board
token
juke.
deck.
But like some sort of like post board, like remember back in the day, you'd be like, well, if they're gonna bring in a bunch of sweepers, I'll bring in a planeswalker.
Yeah, this does play pretty well with the it's the offspring cards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you get to make
extra dudes.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's a good point.
Like it's not really, it hasn't been a deck lately, but we had that like token control deck. With the carrot cake and
a caretaker's talent.
Yeah. Yep. Well, and the carrot cake.
Yeah,
I meant carrot cake. Yeah.
Yeah, they said carrot cake.
Okay.
It's carrot cake, and then like caretaker's talent, which was like the engine that made like multiple cards. Like this could go well in that. Like you already want to make tokens, and this is like probably more powerful than anything else that deck was doing.
Mm-hmm.
And you have your caretaker's talent. You like level it up to like draw your cards or whatever.
Yep.
Or did it starts out with the draw a card. And then that's like the second one.
Then you copy a token,
make a copy.
Then, I don't remember what the third one
is. But
like
once you get to like 5,
yep.
Like you just play this and you're like, oh, make 2 tokens, draw a card. Like,
absolutely.
That's great.
Yep.
So
it is a hell of an engine.
It might like have a home, but just as like hey, these cards have had a track record of being very expensive.
Well, what's this thing now? Do you know?
I do not know. I should know, but I do not know. I didn't open one, so I was like,
oh, so you're just not paying attention. I see.
Yeah, like if I didn't open it, like I don't care that much, do I?
$45.
Yeah, there you go. So,
so maybe not speccable.
Not speccable. No, I was not saying that. But if you opened one, it will hold its value.
Yes. Absolutely.
Right. What's the next one?
Next up, we have Sun Pearl Kirin. It's 1 and a white for a 2/1 flash flyer at uncommon. When this creature enters, return up to 1 other target non-land permanent you control to its owner's hand. If it was a token, draw a card.
This is like the best. Was it White Bane Lion?
Mm-hmm.
It's like the best White Bane Lion like ever.
Well, and we also have a bounce deck, right?
Mm-hmm.
In standard.
Like, I mean, it's Esper, but this gives you like another like a way to bounce your stuff.
Yep.
I mean, in a 2/1 flash flyer is just like that has been like an eminently playable card in blue.
Yes.
For years.
Yep.
And if you're pairing it with Hopeless Nightmare, Nowhere to Run, Momentum Breaker.
Yep.
The whatever the neg 2 like 1 mana Grim Bobble.
Mm-hmm.
like if you're pairing it with those, right? Like that's really strong.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That'd be a hell of a curve to like Grim Bobble something and then end step flash this in, pick up your bobble something.
Yeah, just like okay, like this was going to be a good game, but now I've been like a million for one and I can't win.
Right.
So Saffron Olive today had Pixie in this and was playing a deck. It did some other like had the Grim had like all those things, but had like the Abzan guy that like you sack a permanent puts counters and everything.
Yeah.
But also was using this to pick up the Rhino, the bitty Rhino, the itty bitty Rhino.
That's cute.
I was like, can we do this and just pick up Siege Rhino and then the other Rhino? Like we just have like all of that and we just have like pick up a Rhino 3U, pick up another Rhino 2U. Like, can that be a deck in like Pioneer? Like, oops,
all
Rhino
rhinos.
again.
Yeah.
Oops, all Rhinos again. But like, the fact that it's May, that you can just flash this in naked if you don't have anything to pick up,
Right.
is like a huge game.
Absolutely.
Right? Like, there's like no downside. It's like all upside.
Yeah.
It's like
it lets you save a nerd from removal too.
Is it like there was that soldier. It was like a 3-mana Zephyr or something, Zephyr Knight or something that like had flash, and if you like returned a soldier to your hand, you got a +1/+1 counter. Like that, so many times picked up a creature that was getting targeted by removal.
Yeah.
And like this can do the same thing.
Yep.
But also can like draw you removal spells. So
draw in quotes.
Like draw in quotes.
Yeah.
But like I think it definitely has the like there was I think Ben Stark played black white bounce.
Yeah.
Now it wasn't great. Like he did okay day 1 in the Pro Tour and then like not so well day 2. But like this is something that can make a deck like that like more real.
Yeah.
Where now you have like eight ways to pick things up, and like your mana is in theory better.
Right.
Than having to play like this town ain't big enough.
Yep.
So yeah, like I think this card does a lot.
I do too, and at uncommon.
Yes.
Next card is United Battlefront. 3 and a white for a sorcery. Look at the top 7 cards of your library. Put up to 2 non-creature, non-land permanent cards with mana value 3 or less from among them onto the battlefield. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. So I think we talked about this card in the Unshow last week or the week before, maybe. But I figured it was worth talking about on the show.
There's currently right now a cool stuff article from Jim Davis entitled "Collected Company for Non-Creatures is Insane."
All right.
So, he points out you can get Caretaker's Talent, Carrot Cake, so we're back to our mono white like control deck. I was thinking like older formats like hitting Teferi.
Yeah. Teferi
and now your
set.
and now your Teferi also gives this basically flash, lets you cast it at instant speed when you plus it.
Yep.
Like it feels like I hadn't thought of Caretaker's Talent and seeing that like that's a good thing to hit. But like it feels like the 3-mana Planeswalkers
are just kind of
like,
nuts.
It's just kind of like you get so much out of them.
Yeah.
But like I don't know how you build like I think the mono weight control deck is kind of there. Even maybe like this like mythical like Orzhov like bounce deck where like all of your removal is also permanent.
Yeah, so this just hits all your removal.
Yeah, so like if you remember Collected Company, like you had to play what, like 30 creatures?
Yeah.
It was like you played like 30 or 32 creatures, 4 Collected Companies, and you got like 2 or 3 other spell slots, and then like if that, like it was like 30 some odd creatures, 4 companies, and then lands. Right? To make sure you didn't whiff. Like how can you put together a deck that is like like 30 some
Non-creature,
non-creature,
non-land permanents.
non-land permanents that allow you to have removal and all this stuff. Now, if you go older formats, Fable the Mirror Breaker gets hit.
So does temporary lockdown.
Yeah, like could you like Mardudu,
Maybe.
where you have like all of these permanents and then like this to hit them, where you're like, well, here's Collected Company, or well, here's uh, you know, oh goodness, Fable, the black removal
Mm-hmm.
things, um, maybe Ink Caretaker's Talent, like you just have all of this like stuff like. And you said temporary lockdown is also a good one. Like,
Yep.
there's a number of things you could do, but like you do have the challenge of how do I build a deck that meets the requirement
Right.
and is also functional. Like Collected Company was like
It was
just
easy. It
put
was just a bunch of
it was
creatures.
easy. Yeah.
Especially when your creatures
This
are all spells.
yeah, this is like how do I play a bunch of permanents that do spell things?
Well, you
And
also
there
need spells that are creatures. Or
yes.
non-creature, non-land permanents that are creatures. So things that
We,
ETB make a creature.
we have a lot of those though,
Yeah.
right? Like we have
Well, that's what I mean, though. Is like that's the angle you need
yeah.
to look at.
hmm It's also interesting that like as a design, you had Collected Company instant.
Mm-hmm.
Then in Modern Horizons 2, Collected Conjuring, sorcery.
Right.
United Battlefront, sorcery.
Sorcery
It's like they realized that like this effect as an instant
was too good.
was too good. They're like, oh, we done goofed.
Yeah.
We can't do that again because like this is an instant. It's just an obscene card.
Oh yeah.
Like this is still like pretty good, but again, like it is nice that it gives you a deck building challenge.
Mm-hmm.
But that challenge is a little mitigated because they have printed so many things that are like ETB make a creature.
Right.
Right? So many. Like Tinkerer's Tote,
Yep.
like makes 2/1/1s. Like there's just so many things. So it is a little it's work, but it's light work, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
Or lighter work than it used to be.
Yep. Can't
Even what
really
was it?
think of any other decks that would like put this to use.
Yeah, like we've talked about like the Narset Teferi thing, but the problem is like what are the other like
Yeah, they're all spells.
what are the other cards in the deck in the deck look like? And it's like, well, they look like
Well, I mean, this almost wants to be an Aeorian shell, right?
yeah, where like you're getting to rebuy those ETBs.
Yeah.
Oh, I was trying to think if there was like other things like there's like the Heliod thing that like that makes 1/1s when it enters from Theros Beyond Death.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's the one that's like scry 2, draw a card.
Oh, the Thassa's
Yeah, the
Thassa's
Thassa's
whatever.
one.
Yeah,
Those decks played like Doom Foretold, right? This doesn't hit that, but
yeah. So like Doom Foretold has like kind of fallen out of favor in those Yorion decks.
yeah.
Like the Yorion deck that was the 3 mana thing that was like draw a bunch of cards, you lose 1 life whenever you like
Yeah.
play a spell. Like some of those have like those decks have kind of gone away, but like this could maybe bring them back if there was like some way to uh like blink it to get something back. I like to like blink something and like put it back in your hand.
Yeah.
But yeah. This is I think like Collected Company is super powerful. This is a more interesting version
Mm-hmm.
just because like you said you've got find permanents that make creatures, find permanents that are removal spells, find permanents that like let you do all of these things that you would do with spells
Yeah.
and with creatures. So it's an interesting kind of like build construction problem.
Yeah, like the other problem is you're stuck playing at sorcery speed.
Yeah, that does kind of suck. But like we said, like I think at instant speed, like this is like, you know, end of turn, cast this, get a fable and something else is
Right.
just probably too like just like
Too
too
much.
obscene. It's like go to your turn, like you effectively have a hasty 2/2 plus you get to discard 2, draw 2.
I mean,
Like
what
this.
about a hypothetical deck like you were just talking, where you hit like Fable and Treacherous Blessing? You're like, make a 2/2, draw 3 cards, attack, make a treasure.
Yeah, like you just have a full hand,
Yeah.
and then all your other black cards are uh just like removal.
Yeah.
Like sack a thing, sack a thing. And some of the Dragon Storm cards,
Hmm.
like the black one that's like deal 2, gain 2, scry 2.
Yeah.
Like that's a non-embarrassing card to hit with this.
Hmm.
So
We're
yeah, it
we're gonna
is.
talk about those. We're gonna do them as a cycle.
Okay.
We'll get to them.
All right. What's our next one here?
Another last white card. This is Voice of Victory. 1 and a white for a 1/3 human bard with Mobilize 2. Probably not going to repeat this every time, but just as a refresher, Mobilize, when you attack, you make a number of 1/1s equal to the Mobilize number, and then sacrifice them at the beginning of the next end step. And then
Yes.
this also has your opponents can't cast spells during your turn.
How much do we value that line of text?
Traditionally, not very much.
Yeah, like that was my thought as well. Like,
Well, I don't know that that's the exciting part about this card though. Like like that card is at odds with what this card really wants to do, I think, because your opponent's not being able to cast spells during your turn is usually like combo protection of some sort.
mm-hmm.
Um, and it, like, I think for newer players, they read this and say, "Oh, it's good against control decks," but it's not, because they just kill this thing and then they can do whatever they want during your turn.
Mm-hmm.
But I think this being a 2-drop with like Mobilize 2 is pretty aggressive.
So on one hand, yes, but like a 2 mana 3/1 like has the same power. Like, now granted, the 2 mana 3/1 uh is easier to like block and kill.
Yeah.
But like this kind of attacks for the same as that.
Yeah, except that this, like, hopefully when it's swinging in, it's going to live through combat because it's got a big butt,
Yes.
and then it can do its thing again. So if you have a way to make use of those Mobilize tokens, or them entering or leaving the battlefield, like, this gets more valuable, I think.
Yeah.
Like if you curve, I know it's 3 colors, magical Christmas, whatever, but if you curve this into something like a Mayhem Devil,
Mm-hmm.
like, that's kind of gross.
I mean, not even me. Like, I don't know. Just like pick a black thing that triggers. Is it Combat Celebrant? Is that the not Combat Celebrant? There's like the black white one from like Ravnica
Cruel
Allegiance. Is like
Celebrant.
whenever Cruel Celebrant. Whenever
Yeah.
a creature dies, like
Yeah,
ping.
I
Like
mean,
there's
the thing about Mayhem Devil is you can hit anything.
yeah, you get to
That's
pick.
why I was using
Fair.
that. But yeah, you're right. Like, more on color, some type of aristocrat-y something or other, where
Mhm.
you're Blood Artist, Zulaport Cutthroat, Cruel Celebrant, whatever. I don't know.
So
I
I
think this
will.
can get kind of appealing if you look at it from that aspect.
Mhm. Like as like if you're like some sort of black white sacrificey deck where like you're gonna make use of those tokens going away, where like you get to go, like you said, like it's gonna get to attack a couple times.
Yep.
Um, but also I like your combo protection comment. Just like Grand Abolisher is white white
Hmm.
for more text, but like the
Right.
thing that matters is can't cast spells. But like white white is hard to like get into a deck.
Sure.
Where this, like, if you are like if you are playing a deck in Pioneer that's like, I wish I had Silence,
Mm-hmm.
right? You have Grand Abolisher, but too hard to cast. Like, could you see like Lotus Field maybe?
Maybe.
Like playing this where they don't have to like where they can make like one white somewhere, and make life a little bit easier to get it down. But yeah, like I don't know, like I like the combo protection aspect because like we have Grand Abolisher, but it's hard to cast. But if you had some like combo deck where you could sneak this in,
Yeah.
with just one white mana, it could be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, that's really like the only place that cards like this are good is in combo protection. And
Yeah.
Normally they are costed more appropriately, like 3-4 mana.
Mhm.
So you're right about this, potentially replacing Grand Abolisher, but
Yeah. And it's a little harder to kill.
Yep.
Like being a 1/3 versus a 2/2, like you can't shock this.
All right. Moving into blue. The first one we have here is Dispelling Exhale. 1 in a blue for an instant. As an additional cost to cast this spell, you may behold a dragon. Counter target spell unless its controller pays 2. If a dragon was beheld, counter that spell unless its controller pays 4 instead. 4 is a lot.
4 is a lot. I mean, we've seen the power of just like pay 2 from Quench. Saw a lot of play. And then what was the card with Casualty? Make Disappear?
Yep.
No, it could get up to 4. But like even the 2-mana mode was good. Like the 2-mana mode like made it live early in the game, and the 4-mana mode made it live late in the game.
Right.
But this, like the Behold a Dragon, they know if you have a dragon in your hand, like so the 4-mana mode is live maybe even longer.
Yeah.
Because it's even harder to play around.
Right. And like I'm remembering last time we were on Tarkir, there was a couple cards that weren't quite Behold a Dragon. They were close, had similar text, and like they were playable. Esper Dragons was a deck.
Was it like 1 blue? Was it Tigum something?
Yeah.
It was like something. 1 blue. Yeah, it was like 1 blue. And then like if you had the dragon, it was just blue. It was like counter a spell.
Counter a spell, yeah.
And like honestly, counter a spell unless you play 2 on turns like 2, 3, 4, is just counter a spell.
Right.
And on like 5, 6, 7, pay 4 is counter a spell.
Counter a spell.
Like almost always.
Right.
So if you are playing a dragon deck, this is kind of just counter spell at like all points.
Yeah, and I think like if you look at the set as a whole, I think the best the Omen cards I think are around blue.
Yeah.
So there may be a deck there.
And don't forget that we are going to Lorwyn at some point.
Some point.
And so there's going to be changelings.
Yep.
So this is like going to make these a little bit more alive because you could have more dragons in your deck. Because you have changelings.
Yep.
All right. What is our next guy here?
This is an example of one of the cards I was just talking about.
Yeah. So Meringue, River Regent, 4 blue for a dragon. It's got flying, and when this creature enters, return up to 2 other target non-land permanents to their owner's hands. And it's a 6/7. And then it has Coil and Catch. It's 3 and a blue for an instant. Omen. Draw 3 cards, then discard a card. My lone loss in pre-release had 2 of these in his pool.
Yeah.
My blue rare that I got was the turtle.
Not quite as good.
The turtle was on the sidelines for this. So, like, it's just, the Omen is just Reign of Revelation. Like a card printed in Modern Horizons 2.
Yep.
And a card that was printed in a core set not too long ago.
Yep.
Right? Like, so, and that is literally the cost. Like, it is on rate for a like actual spell.
Right.
So you're not kind of paying anything for the omen side. So like, if you want a Rain of Revelation in your deck, you should probably just play this.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you don't want to Rain of Revelation, you get to win. You get to win a game by bouncing 2 things and having a 6/7.
Right. I think like where this card is really good is going to be in a control deck, though.
Yeah.
Because you get your instant speed, end of turn draw spell when you need it, and it's also your win con, and you don't need to put a win con in your deck because your draw spell is your win con.
Yeah, it's kind of, oh goodness, Memory Deluge.
Yeah.
Right, it's just like Memory Deluge that then wins you the game.
Right.
Where Memory Deluge won you the game by getting you more cards, this like sometimes just wins you the game by being a 6/7.
Being a 6/7, yeah.
So yeah, like I think it is kind of that like control finisher.
Mm-hmm.
But there's another couple cards that we'll talk about that kind of fall into this category of like, if you were a deck that was like, so if you were a deck that wanted Sift, which was 3 and a blue, draw 3, discard a card at sorcery speed.
Yep.
Then you got Rain of Revelation. It's like, okay, I'm never going to play Sift again.
Right.
Because now I have instant speed Sift. And now instant speed Sift is attached to a 6/7 flyer that double mana wars. So like, if you ever were like, I would like a Rain of Revelation. No, you don't.
Yeah.
You want Meringue River Regent because it is a Rain of Revelation attached to a 6/7.
So don't look. How much is this card?
I don't know, like a quarter.
75 cents.
Oh man, yeah.
I think this is worth more than 75 cents.
Probably. It's hard, like, because I've lost all sense of what cards are worth now.
Modern Magic finance is crazy.
Yeah, but like, yeah, like it comes down to like, is there like a deck in standard for this?
Right.
Or like, is this gonna be the new Commander hotness? I don't know. Like, bouncing 2 things does do a lot of work.
It does.
Like, so you can like get things off 2 opponents because you successfully politicked someone into like doing something.
Yeah, but like this card is also worse in Commander though, because you can only have 1 in your deck, and if you omen this away, like the chances of you seeing it again are not great.
Low. Yeah.
Next blue card is one that I added. This is Stillness in Motion. 1 in a blue for an enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, mill 3 cards. Then, if your library has no cards in it, exile this enchantment and put 5 cards from your graveyard on top of your library in any order. 2 reasons why I thought this was like relevant to talk about. The first is milling 3 cards every upkeep for 2 mana is better than the rate that we normally get for something that does just that.
Yeah, like, what is it? Tome Scour is 2 mill 4.
Tome Scour doesn't do it every turn.
Doesn't, no, but like,
yeah,
that is its closest comparison. I think is Tome Scour is 2 mill 4.
Well, I mean, there are cards that will like mill cards every turn, but they're like 3 mana and it's 1 card per turn.
Or what was the Search for Escanta was 2 mill 1.
Yep.
Yeah, like if you care about your graveyard being full, this does that.
Pretty quickly.
In a big way, yes.
Like if you're playing some kind of Narcomoeba, Prized Amalgam, Creeping Chill deck, like this is probably an include in that, I would think. On top of that, being interesting by itself, there's this whole other text on there that's like weirdly Doomsday.
Yes, it is very Doomsday.
Like, is there anything cool we can do with this, like, Doomsday effect? I mean, like all of the
Yeah.
Doomsday piles would work. I meant more like
Like I was thinking in other formats, like because you
Oh,
could
sure.
like whatever, yeah, like I like whatever street race, like Thassa's
Oracle.
Oracle,
Yeah.
yeah, but like that, like yeah, like but just like I was like you could like really get to like a approach of the second sons real quick,
Yeah.
right? Like if you like have an approach, you put it in your pile like on top,
Yeah.
you draw an approach, and then it's going to be 4 cards down.
Right.
Like you're gonna get there in 4 turns.
Is there any ways to vomit libraries?
Uh, I think they banned both of them.
Yeah.
Did they ban one or both in Pioneer?
I'm not sure.
The Balustrade Spy, and I forget the other one.
Undercity Informant.
Yes. Are you banned? It is banned in Balustrade Spy is banned in Pioneer and Explorer.
Undercity Informer is banned in Pioneer.
Okay. So there's the 5-mana one.
Yeah.
But is Thassa's Oracle still legal in that format?
I think so.
It is. It's banned in Historic because they stupidly put thing.
Yeah. Yeah, they banned Devourer, right? The Devourer?
Inverter.
Inverter, yeah. Yeah, and I guess like if that deck was going to exist, somebody would have found like the new Inverter deck because it's kind of a similar play pattern.
Yeah. But like it's a little too slow. There is the oh goodness. Neoform deck
Mm-hmm.
that like needs to fill its graveyard to play like why talking so hard? To play Delve creatures.
Yeah.
To the Neoform away.
Yep.
But I don't think that is like this is fast enough for that.
Yeah.
Like this is like a slow burn, but like what about things like Search for Escanta, where like you could flip search really fast?
Yeah, basically the next turn.
Yeah, or like Jace.
Yeah.
Like JVP. Like you get to like have JVP flip right away.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know if there's like a way to like turbo get to the like the Dark Depths thing because they got rid of the 2 cards that turbo.
Yeah.
Flip your library. But like I wonder if there's like those are still legal in I guess there are other ways to win in Modern. But those are still legal in Modern. Like you could play this and then just like flip your deck and then have a Doomsday pile. But I think once you flip your deck in Modern, you just win.
Yeah.
So there's not like a reason to throw like an extra step in.
Right.
But it is interesting that it has the Doomsday text. It does get you thinking. Like,
yeah. Now, I may have done a bad job like portraying this card because I talked about it as 2 separate parts, but they're both the same part.
Yeah.
Like so the upkeep has to trigger and then it checks. So you can't like mill yourself later in the turn and be like, "Oh, this thing triggers." No.
Yeah, no, it's all together.
Yep.
So you have to make it to your upkeep to cast Doomsday.
Yep.
But like once you've then you draw.
Yeah, so like that's probably relevant too.
Pile. Yeah, you're into your pile then. Like
yeah.
Demonic consultation kind of stuff. Like this is just another way to like you like play one of these and then you demonic consultation like exile like I guess it exiles your library so you wouldn't have anything to get back.
Right. Yeah, no, you want to mill. I don't think you can exile everything.
Yeah, but yeah. So you can't even do that. So yeah, I don't know if there's a way to like turbo it.
Well, maybe
But
somebody will
like,
find out and let us know.
yeah, maybe. If you figure out a way to turbo it, let me know.
Yeah.
All right, what do we got next? Are we on
We
to?
got one more blue
Oh,
card. This is
okay.
Tagiam Master Opportunist. One
Okay.
in a blue for a 2/2 legendary human monk. And it has Flurry. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, copy it. Then exile the spell you cast with 4 time counters on it. If it doesn't have Suspend, it gains Suspend. So this kind of doubles the second spell every turn.
Yeah.
And then,
like
once it
layaway.
starts popping off, it is your second spell every turn, kind of.
It gives you your first spell
It gives you your first spell, yeah.
for free, and then you get to, and it's not just instants and sorceries; it's any spell.
Right.
So you get to like put creature. You get to put a copy of a creature onto the battlefield.
Yep.
And then the creature goes away to sleep.
Yep.
It feels slow.
Mm-hmm.
It's like neat but slow.
Yeah.
Right. So like in a format where like people are like maybe we need to ban Monstrous Rage.
Yeah.
Right.
Probably
like,
not gonna have time to flurry around for a couple turns.
Yeah. I mean, you have time to flurry, but by the time you get the payoff for them coming off,
you're dead.
Right. Yeah, like best case scenario, you put a spell on layaway on turn 3.
Yeah.
And it comes off on turn 7.
Right.
So like on one hand, yeah, sweet, we did it. But on the other hand, like there could be a lot of overlords looking at you. There could be a lot of.
Okay, I just had a terrible thought.
Okay, go ahead.
This guy belongs in a Turbo Fog deck.
Like on your turn, like on their turn, cast Consider, then Fog.
Yep.
Go. Well, the issue then is then you're fogging on your turn when it comes off.
Oh, you're right.
So you don't get to like use the fog twice.
Yeah, that's awkward.
If you could pick when you cast it,
then it'd be great. Well, then you just have to have a way to bounce a spell to your hand.
I will remand my fog.
That's right. There's a new white remand too.
Reprieve.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just feels like it's hard to use. Like it feels like it does neat things, but it just feels like it's so hard to use.
Yeah, Suspend 4 is a lot.
It is. It is. Like I said, you're getting the first payoff on turn 7.
Yeah.
Which just is like, so many turns.
Have to be alive on turn 7.
Yeah, okay, what do we got for black?
First black card is Avenger of the Fallen. 2 and a black for a 2/4 Death Touch. Mobilize X, where X is the number of creature cards in your graveyard. So brings an army with it.
Sometimes,
as long as you have cards in your graveyard.
So I had an opponent play this in limited in the pre-release, and like the first time he played it, it like had mobilized 1 for a while.
Yeah.
And then it got like a little bit better.
Yeah.
And then I think the second time he played it, it started out with like 0. I think at one point it did get up to like 3, but like it was just like a 2/4 Death Touch. Which like isn't great. So like as like a standard card, like I don't think this is good enough for older formats.
Yeah.
Right, but as like a standard card, it has to compete with Preacher of the Schism,
which is probably just better.
Yeah, like that, like you draw a card or you get like a lifelinking body that like stays around.
Yeah.
So like it's competing like it has setup, and then it's competing with a card that just is like kind of like a rate monster.
Right.
Right, a 2/4 that draws you a card every turn.
Mm-hmm.
So like I don't know if it's gonna have like a home in Constructed because of that. But like if you could like fill your graveyard, then like get mobilized 10 or something, you'd be like, oh yeah.
Well, yeah, then you're running into the same issue we were just trying to figure out with
How are you filling your graveyard?
yeah, stillness in motion.
Yeah.
You gotta turbo fill your graveyard somehow.
Yeah, so it feels like a little awkward.
Yep, I agree. I don't think it's fantastic. Like, how long is it going to be until Ixalan rotates? Like, is this going to only be in standard for a year after Preacher's gone?
I think a year, yeah.
At that point, I don't know if it's going to have much of a time to shine either.
I mean, they could print like a crazy one, a 2 and a black card.
Yeah.
In like 2 sets and be like, oh, okay, well, Preacher's not good anymore. We had to print like, Super Preacher.
Right. Super Preacher.
All
right, moving on is a card that we mentioned already. This is Caustic Exhale. It is a single black mana for an instant. As an additional cost to cast this spell, behold a dragon or pay 1, and target creature gets -3/-3 till end of turn.
I mean, 1 and a black for -3/-3 is kind of going rate.
Mm-hmm.
So that card is not been playable. Is it Candy Grapple?
Yeah.
Is that card with bargain to get to like -5/-5? So like 1 and a black for -3/-3 doesn't get the job done, but black for -3/-3 is like above rate.
Yep.
So like if you are in a dragon deck, again, like the Esper Dragons, you've got the counter spell, you've got this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now we're cooking.
Yep.
Like then that becomes a good spell.
I don't remember. Was it when we were talking about Mox Jasper? Maybe. We had talked about the 1 mana changelings.
Mm-hmm.
Now I don't know what deck wants 1 mana changelings, but they're a thing that work well with this as well.
Yes. Again, for the if they don't push back, going back to Lorwyn again.
Right.
Because Spider-Man's not on Lorwyn. There's not going to be... Oh my gosh, I just realized all the changeling are going to be like Spider-Man.
They are.
And chocobos.
Yeah.
I attack you with my 1/1 Cactuar, chocobo, Spider-Man.
Dragon,
yeah. All right.
Another black card here. We have... How do you pronounce that? Karsi?
Sure.
Karsi Revenant. 2 black for a 3/3 vampire with flying, death touch, and lifelink. And it has renew 2 and a black. Exile this card from your graveyard, put a flying counter, a death touch counter, and a lifelink counter on target creature. Activate only as a sorcery.
It's 1 black.
Isn't that what I said?
You said 2 black.
Oh, sorry.
Sure.
One black. Yep.
So it is Vampire Nighthawk with 1 more power.
Mm-hmm.
Plus the ability to do something from the graveyard.
Mm-hmm. It's all right.
It's all right. Yeah, like
the other Vampire Nighthawk saw play.
Vampire Nighthawk, or
no, the other one. The one from Zendikar was like star. It was a star 3.
A star 3. Yeah, I was gonna say like that is kind of the closest comparison.
Yeah.
Recently. It's like it much like our first card, the dragon, right? Is a 3 mana 3/3 flyer. Like good enough?
Well, this is a little bit more than a 3 mana 3/3 flyer.
It's more than that. But like, is it good enough? Like on rate, like again, like it's kind of competing with Preacher of the Schism in like older formats. Like, think about how far Cemetery Trespasser has fallen off.
That's true.
Right? Like, you're like, oh man, like I bought Cemetery Trespassers because like, oh man, this is like a card that's gonna be like the best in slot for like ever.
Yeah.
And then it's like not playable really, or like fringy.
Right.
So like the 3 mana black spot has gotten really, really good. Now granted, and this has the problem of being 1 black as opposed to 2 and a black.
Right.
So it makes it a little bit harder, but like against an aggro deck, the fact that you just have this 3 mana lifelinker, like you just don't lose if they can't kill it.
So there's 2 other things to consider with this card, I think.
Okay.
The first is that in contrast to the last 3-mana 3/3 flyer that we talked about, this has Death Touch. And we are in a set full of great big giant dragons. So if you need to deal with one of those dragons, this kind of deals with the dragon twice. Because it can, hop in front of it and kill it, and then let something else hop in front of it to kill another one. The other thing is that this is a vampire. And I don't know like what sets are coming up that are this could be relevant in, but we like completely out of the blue randomly got Bloodghast.
Yes.
Which is also
Random
a vampire. So I don't know if there's going to be a vampire theme soon, maybe.
Maybe. I don't know. Like, that's a good point. I hadn't thought of that.
Because if Sorin was in the last time we were on Tarkir, but there weren't a whole lot of other vampires that I remember.
No. It's not a super vampire-y plane.
So
like the vampire could matter. And like that is always like that is like a tribe that like kind of randomly gets support and that people like.
Yep.
So there we go.
Next black card is one that I think you wanted to talk about.
I put on there, yep. So Rot Cursed Rakshasa, 1 in the black for a demon. It's a 5/5, so a 2-mana 5/5 with trample. Has Decayed, and it has Renew. X black, exile this card from your graveyard. Put a Decayed counter on each of X target creatures. Activate only as a sorcery. So, on the front end, it is a 2-mana 5/5 that your opponent is incentivized not to block.
Because it's going away anyway.
Kaito, Bane of Nightmares.
Oh, yeah.
Has a 3-mana ninjutsu cost.
Yeah.
So, how often are you going to have a situation where you play Rot Curse Rakshasa and then you attack and your opponent's like, well, it's going to go, I'll just take the 5, and then you put in a Kaito, and now you're in a situation where you have the 5/5 to play the following turn, but now you also have a Kaito. And can you... This is a question.
Okay.
It's a rules question. Like, can you... here you go. But, like, if you... Like, if the creature's unblocked, right, can you, like, go to the end of combat step, let it have dealt damage, and then
bounce
ninjutsu then?
You should be able to.
Yeah, you should be able to.
I mean,
like, you don't see that
sacrificing this is a trigger that would go on the stack.
Yeah, I mean, but you still have the end of combat step that you could do it in, even without the trigger. I guess usually when you ninjutsu something in, it is bigger than the thing that you are taking out.
Right. In this case, it would not be.
Yeah, so it's like take your 5, then pick it up.
Yeah.
And like the Decayed trigger does give you like a spot in arena where you don't have to like kind of set full control.
You still have to set full control, but it will let you though. Because you can deadly dispute a Decayed zombie token after combat.
True. So yeah, like you could like pick up your.
You could swing for 5, and then at the end of combat,
pick it up with your Kaito.
Yeah.
So like maybe in like Pioneer, like you could play some sort of like with Moon Circuit Hacker. Right, like if you have your if you like attack with this, and you really want the card, you can pick it up with your Moon Circuit Hacker, and then hopefully have 2 mana to play it again.
Yeah.
So you just have this thing that is like incentivizing them not to block, to just sneak your ninjas in.
Yeah.
And then the X black is just like falter. Right? Like your opponent's creatures can't block. So you can just be like, well, 3 things can't block, get in for 6, kill you, or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I had forgot about that. I was thinking about that more as a removal spell. But yeah, that's pretty good too.
Yeah, and it just makes it so they can't attack, like,
Yeah.
because then they lose all of their stuff.
What about this with, like, is there room in fight rigging?
Maybe. Like, it's just like the fact that you have to like wait to do it twice.
Mm-hmm.
You have to target it once and then again is kind of a problem. But like you could put it in fight ring, but it's like it's just a 2-drop that doesn't do anything.
That's true.
Right? It doesn't block. You can't attack with it because if you do, you uh
Well, you could attack the second time because the second time you're going to get the fight rigging trigger, right?
yeah. So the second time you do get to attack
Yeah.
there
And then this would go away, and then you can use its renew ability.
to get to like your hopefully your next big thing. And yeah, fair.
Next black card we have is Strategic Betrayal. This is 1 and a black for a sorcery. Target opponent exiles a creature they control and their graveyard.
So it's like the Discord people all listen to the pre-show because we talked about how I misread this card initially.
Yeah.
So it is like a sorcery speed edict plus an exile your graveyard.
Yep.
Which like neither card is good enough.
But together.
But together maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like it's not quite as like was it Go Blank, which just became like the like standard like I'm black and I don't know what my sideboard should be, so I'll put in some Go Blanks.
Yeah.
So
I do think this is a pretty solid sideboard card. I don't necessarily think it's main deckable.
Agreed.
Edict effects typically aren't great universally.
Yeah.
Especially with the number of tokens running around.
Yes, there are a ton of tokens. I mean, like Shieldred's Edict, since it like really let you like kind of hone in on the thing that you wanted and was instant speed, is significantly better than this being sorcery speed, and they get to get like whatever they want to get.
Yeah.
But like again, if you have a situation where like you care about a graveyard and you want an edict, like this could be useful, but it is not a good enough edict and not good enough graveyard removal.
I agree. Next up, we have Strategic Betrayal. I'm sorry, we just talked about Strategic Betrayal. This is the Sib-Zig Ceremony.
It is black for a legendary enchantment. Creature spells you cast cost 2 less to cast. And then whenever a creature you control enters, if you cast it, destroy that creature, then create a 2/2 black zombie druid creature token.
For some reason, it's a druid.
For some reason. He's a very smart, in tune with nature zombie. This card's only up to no good.
Right.
I'm unsure what the no good is, but it's only up to no good. Like, we don't have an enchantment in standard that's like when a creature dies, draw a card. Because like that's kind of what you need, right? Like you can't.
Nothing you can do can be on a creature because it's just gonna die.
Yeah, it can't be like whatever midnight, whatever the guy was.
Midnight Reaper.
Or there was like Grim Horror specs from the first cons.
Yeah, you need fecundity.
Like, you need fecundity, but like the city hanger back market, is that what it was called? Right, like it comes in with 1 counter on it and then draws you a card, right, for 0 mana.
Yeah.
Hangerback Walker comes in for with 1 counter on it, makes a 1/1 and then a 2/2.
Yep.
And this is a trigger, so like the creature can go away and you still get the 2/2.
Oh, so this is good with Evoke.
Yes. Because you would get the effect, and then you would get a body that stays around.
Yeah,
and it would make your Evoke cost cheaper.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. I hadn't thought about that. So, yeah, this might be a plant for...
Maybe. For Lorwyn that who knows when we're going to now.
Yeah. I think it's supposed to be the first set of next year, but like I don't know,
Well,
they
it
might
was
get
supposed to
like
be next, right? It was supposed to be the summer set this year.
I thought it was supposed to be the winter set, and it got pushed back one.
Oh, okay.
But I could be wrong. I mean, but like maybe they'll get like we'll get universes beyond Bluey, and then they'll be like, hey, we got to push Lore One back. We got to get these dogs in here.
Yeah. Everybody needs that Paw Patrol set.
Yeah. No, 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 Jace. Um, yeah, but like this card just seems like it's up to no good, and it's just trying to figure out what the no good is. But it's also awkward that like you have to build your deck completely and totally around this,
Yeah.
and then you're just like might just be playing like hot trash, uh, until you find it.
So this has the what you call it? The Merit Lage oh shoot. Tabernacle thing, right? Because Tabernacle says destroy, not sacrifice.
Yes.
So it gets around. Merit Lage gets around it because it's indestructible.
Yeah.
So you could play
creatures,
indestructible creatures,
and you would still get the 2/2 because it
you
would
still
like
get
try
the
to
2/2s.
destroy it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
like the trigger goes on the stack, and then even if the creature's not there, you still get the 2/2.
yeah.
So yeah, so like just a bunch of indestructible things.
Yeah, I'm trying to
extra
think
bodies.
of like what's indestructible and cheap, and I can't think of anything.
Yeah.
Like
Can't think of
the
anything
gods
either.
from Theros. And I guess this, yeah. And I guess this would turn on the gods pretty easily too, like the Theros gods.
Mm-hmm.
Being 3 black pips.
Yeah, like I said, I just don't know. Like I don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
And it, again, like I said, like we only have one of this effect.
Mm-hmm.
So like if you built your deck around it, then you just don't draw it.
Right.
Like what are you gonna do? You're just like, oh, oops. Sorry, everyone.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Okay, what is our last card for today?
Hang on. I'm having a thought.
Okay.
How does this work with overlords?
They're not creatures when they come in. They come in as enchantments, right?
Right, but it's still a creature spell, right?
Yeah, but isn't it an enchantment when it enters the battlefield?
Oh, I see. So
Right,
it would make it cheaper, but it wouldn't destroy it and get you a zombie.
Yeah, like I think it would make the impending cost cheaper because you're still casting a creature spell.
Yeah.
But then when the thing would come in, it would come in as a
And I guess the black one really doesn't need to be any cheaper, and being black, you're not going to play like white.
Yeah, if you cast it for its impending cost, it is not a creature. So that is part of the... Because impending has like 4 rules things wrapped up in it. It's kind of crazy.
Okay.
But yeah, it would make them cheaper, but you would not get the thing.
Yep. All right. Moving on to the last card.
Okay.
This is Whale of War. 2 and a black for an instant. Choose one. Creatures target opponent controls get -1/-1 till end of turn, or return up to 2 target creature cards from your graveyard to your hand. This was one out of Discord, and I don't think that this card by itself is like necessarily worth talking about.
Fair, okay.
But they did ask about a couple of the other ones of, I don't even know if you call this a cycle, but there are more of these that's like an uncommon instant that's modal.
Okay.
So I didn't know if we wanted to just kind of touch on the cycle of them, or...
Sure, we can do that. Whatever you have pictures of, I will talk about.
Well, I only have a picture of this one right now. I hadn't got far enough to get to the others. I don't know if I can pull them all up.
So Whale of War just is like suffocating fumes, like seized play and popper. but there's not like, which is like 3 mana, give everything -1/-1. But like, if the format is full of tokens, if we are like Mardewing it up, this could be like good. Or like against the like red white like go wide convoke deck, like this could be good.
Sure.
And then like the return 2 creatures is like just overcosted by 1.
Yeah.
So like I don't think they can make this 1 in the black, but like it feels like it needed to be 1 in the black to like be playable.
I think all of these are basically limited spells.
Okay.
I don't necessarily think any of them are constructed playable.
Gotcha.
Let me see. I think I got the white one here. Yeah, here's the white one. Rally the Monastery. 3 and a white for an instant. Costs 2 less if you've cast another spell this turn, so it kind of has like flurry, whatever. And choose one. Create 2 1/1 monk creature tokens with prowess. Up to 2 target creatures you control each get +2/+2 till end of turn. Or destroy target creature with power 4 or greater. Actually, I like this one better than the black one.
Yeah, I mean the fact that it like it has Smite the Monstrous on it.
Yeah.
Which like not standard playable, but like the fact that it has the ability to occasionally be a 2 mana smite, or I guess
exactly.
like what is the name of that card that sees play? Destroy Evil. Right, like it like can be the creature destruction part of Destroy Evil sometimes.
Yep.
So like yeah, that one is better, I agree.
Yeah. I have the blue one here. This is Riverwalk Technique. 3 and a blue for an instant. Choose one. Counter target non-creature spell, or the owner of target non-land permanent puts it on their choice of the top or bottom of their library.
So the bounce spell has been like a spell in limited that has been repeated like a million times.
Yep.
But they've never just stuck negate on it. But I don't know if 4 mana negate with a spell attached to a spell that has never seen constructed play gets us to that point.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I don't think this card's... I think it's too overcosted.
Yeah. Like, it's the right cost for limited, but not for constructed. The white one has the ability to be the right cost for constructed.
Yep. Here is the red one, Overwhelming Surge. 2 and a red, instant, choose one. Oh, this one's choose one or both. Overwhelming Surge deals 3 damage to target creature or destroy target non-creature artifact. That's why it lets you do both, because neither are worth 3 mana.
Yeah, it's like Bada Braid.
Yeah, really Bada Braid.
The only time it's better is when you do get to do both. But the odds of that are like super, that's like a super thin case.
You're also not really getting, I guess you're getting up a card, but you're not saving any mana.
No, but like that's the only time that you're like, oh yeah, this feels good, is when you got to do both.
Yeah. And then, oh, I guess the green one is a card that we're going to talk about anyway, so we might as well do it now.
Okay. What is the green in?
Heritage Reclamation.
Oh, but it's a common.
Oh, it is a common, so maybe that's not it. All right, let's get rid of that one. I just saw modal. Oh yeah, you're right. It's right here.
Okay.
Sarkhan's Resolve.
That's also a common.
Oh, why are there so many green modal spells?
I don't like. I'm looking at the green uncommons.
Yeah, I don't see one.
And there isn't a modal one in green.
Well, that's weird. Maybe because they got 3 common ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, no green.
But I mean, we can talk about heritage thing now.
I already deleted it. We'll talk about it next week.
Okay, never mind. Okay. So, like, yeah, these are all just, except for, again, the white one if it's your second spell. These are all just a little too overcosted for constructed.
Yep.
Like, if Whale of War was a common, Pauper All-Star. Like, probably takes the spot of Suffocating Fumes.
Yep.
But because it's an uncommon, like, it just doesn't have a home. unless we get a whole bunch of like X1s. But then it's just like a really bad chain whirler because it doesn't leave you a body.
Right.
So, yeah, it's a little
Yep, I don't think it's great.
So, it is awkward.
Yep.
Like, it's just one in the black where they'd be constructed playable is just too good.
Mm-hmm.
And two in a black is just too bad.
Yep.
Such analysis. maybe at like 1.5 black.
What if it was black?
Maybe that might be like the fix for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. But like in a 3, like, and then from a limited point of view, in a 3-colored set, like double colored cards are like even harder to cast.
Yep.
Than normal.
I don't know. I was listening to you talk about your mana base earlier. It didn't sound like you were having any problems with your mana.
That was a fluke. You don't get to have, you don't get to put 1 forest in your deck and have 7 green sources.
Yeah.
That is not how that is supposed to go. So, all right. So with all that, I think we got a show.
We got a show.
So we're gonna pick it up at red next week.
Yep.
But if you have any cards you want us to talk about that are red, green, multicolored, colorless, various cycles, let us know. Facebook, Discord, Twitter, X, Blue Sky, email, all those links are in the description. Come in, say hey, and let us know what we should talk about.
Yep, hit us up. If you're looking to support the show, there's 2 ways you can do it. The first is our TCG player affiliate link, CasualTryHard.com/TCG. Do your shopping over there, support the show at the same time. Doesn't cost you anything extra and really helps us out. The other way is through our Patreon, patreon.com/CasualTryHardMTG. If you'd rather not shop at TCG Player and rather give us money directly, you can head over there, chip in as much as you want, and you'll get access to about another hour of content out of us in the form of our unshow every week. And you also get our show notes, so you get a sneak peek about what the episode's going to be about. If any of that sounds good, or if you just want to support the show, patreon.com/CasualTryHardMTG.
Yeah. So with that, we'll catch you on the internets.
We'll catch you on the internets.